Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Local sports roundup, crosstown rival, crosstown showdown, whatever we're calling it here, intercity rival, Memorial North getting a victory on Friday night.
Big win for North because that's their second straight, and now you're back in competition for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a couple more wins, you can find a way to get in there, which would be huge for North. I mean, that as the program has been continuing to rise,
exactly,
I think that would be big. I mean, a tough one for them coming up, though. They will they head on the road to DC Everest. So, but it's a conference game, and you get another You just got a conference win over Memorial, so you'll try to put 3 in a row,
right?
Which would be great for them. So, we'll see what they can do there. Memorial then. Not an easy back. They go back to playing Menominee. Homecoming, I believe, for them at home against Menominee. So you see what they can do.
Right.
The offense is they have all. I think everything's still first year. Things are starting to come together a little bit, but it's been a tough start here for them. But the talent is on that team.
Right.
There's plenty, and I think who knows. A couple years ago they beat Menominee. Could happen again.
Yep. Rice Lake, kind of a high-scoring one against Chippewa Falls, 47-30.
Yeah.
On that game, and Rice Lake remains undefeated.
I think Rice Lake has scored 40 points in almost
Jeez.
every game, if not all of them this year. So Rice Lake, I mean, we're seeing right now a team that is just playing on a different level than pretty much everyone else. But a big matchup this week because they got New Richmond.
Wow.
Who is number 2 in the conference. So those two matching up, that'll be a fun one in Rice Lake to see two high-powered offenses going at it there. And then River Falls, Hudson beating Spash in overtime.
Yeah.
So they'll take on River Falls. And then Chi High at home against Superior. So Chi High looking to bounce back after that loss to Rice Lake. Again, the Big Rivers is still just so talented. So we'll see that. And then, you move on in a big matchup in the Clover Belt. You got first place Regis taking on Mondovi. Now, Mondovi coming off that loss couple weeks ago to Stanley Boyd.
And they just put up 82 against Neilsville Grant, and Mondovi did.
So Mondovi, that one's at Mondovi, and this is a game I'm sure Craig Lowscheider, circles on the calendar. I believe there's Brennard's on the coaching staff at Mondovi. It's just one of those, they know each other really well.
Yep.
It's like a friendly rivalry, but it's always this, in the middle of the season, we're getting to the point where teams are starting to clinch playoff berths and stuff like it's crazy. I can say that about everybody. Week 6. We're there, We're almost, we're a couple, end of this month. It's playoff time.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a big one there. Elkbound, Fall Creek, good, kind of a rivalry, Clover Belt rivalry going on there.
Yep.
Stanley Boyd gets Neilsville Grant, and Pep and Alma coming off a very close win. This is moving on to the Dairyland there, but they had a battle with Blair Taylor, got the win, I believe, in the last second. So they continue their run. They'll take on Mel Min. So. Yeah, there's a lot of good games coming up on this week, and it's going to be a lot of fun to win. And then the 8-man, big win for McDonald over Gilman.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, that Gilman number 2, I believe, in the state. So, big statement win for them. So, coming off that, I believe they go to Cornell. So, yeah, there's games I'm probably leaving off, but, man. Spring Valley, and they're at Cadott this week, and they're playing well, too.
I know Owen Withy blanked Thorpe 59-0. The milk can, good piece by Brandon, our good buddy Brandon, if you want to check that out on Chippewa Herald. But that was a big win too.
Yeah, I don't want to leave Owen Withy out of the number 1 team in the state. The Blackhawks have been good for a couple years. They've reached a new level this year, so they'll keep it going. See what they can do this week.
Yep, and I know Oliva Strum had a victory in overtime too.
Yes, Oliva Strum. I think they're 4-1.
I think, because they're undefeated in conference, though.
Yep. So, I mean, they lost week 1 because that was to Glenwood City.
Okay, yep.
So, I mean, you leave a Strum, getting close, you get another win here. I think you're pretty much playoff eligible here. So, big for them. And then Boyceville keeps running it well in the Dunn St. Croix. So, there's
Boyceville coach was just last week Packers.
Yes, Romile was the Packers coach of the week. So, I mean, it's all over the place right now with prep football. But, there's a going to be a ton of great games. And it looks like it's going to be a just ideal weekend for football. So.
Exactly. Really quick to the college side, Stout, I know, picked up a victory over the University of Northwestern, not Northwestern University, University of Northwestern.
The Minnesota Northwestern.
Yep. And then the Blue Golds did fall to Bethel, too, over the weekend to start off 1-2, and I know the Blue Golds have the bye week this week.
And I think they're going to go, obviously, take a long look at, what they can do. I mean, they play, Erickson talked about it in his interviews about how they're playing a tough. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
And they played two really good teams there. So now you get the bye week and you head into conference play next week. So I think they have enough to look at. I mean, I think it's going to help them. Mm-hmm. I think you get in the conference play here, and they're going to be in every one of these games. Mm-hmm. I really think that's going to be the case. And the offense has been showing what they can do. Right. You can get that defense to shore up a little bit. Because, the WIAC is, again, stacked.
Yeah.
And you're going to have every game is going to be a battle, but I think this is a team that's starting to get battle tested.
One team for the Blue Golds, though, that I got to imagine, they've been so fun to watch since they first started just a few years ago, and you see what they're doing. The soccer team with a big win over Chicago.
Yeah.
To remain undefeated right now on the season 6-0-2. So no losses on there, but that was a big game taking down University of Chicago. Just the other day.
We were talking last week about Nathan Donovan's just kind of the individual accolades. You talk to him though, he was turning everything to the team because that's what it is. It is he doesn't have success if the team isn't having success. And then we saw it this week. They grind it out. They get had a draw earlier in the week, and then you come back and get a big win over Chicago. That Casey Holmes squad it's just fun to watch, and they've been that way since day one.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have thought that was a team in his first year. There's so much cohesion and just everybody's got everybody's back there. Mm-hmm. That just watching that team has been a joy.
Yeah.
And it's the women's team's grinding it out too, and Yango's team is playing great too. So some really good soccer being played over there on Simpson Field right now.
Yep.
Another big week for them.
Yeah, they got number 1 St. Olaf at home or on the road on Wednesday.
Yep.
So.
And then they're back home on Saturday, I believe, as well. So yeah, it's going to be a big week for that. And I still have to call out, if there's any WIAC people voting on the athlete of the week, Nathan Donovan had 9 goals.
9 goals, and he didn't get athlete of the week.
And he didn't get. I don't know. I'm just.
That's a grind my gears.
That's
Monday.
a grind my gears. Yeah. I get it. Maybe you could give it to him almost every week because he's just that good of a player. But how do you not look at? This guy had a hat trick in 3 straight games.
3 straight games for crying out loud, and your team's undefeated.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to delve too much into it, but it's just like when the athlete of the week came out and they're like, it should have been a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like if a guy scored 6 touchdowns in a game,
you're probably going to give him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, jeez, man. But no, that's. I know we only got like a couple seconds here. Started 4 years ago, and where they're at now. And it's conference too, right? This year they've got conference in here too. So
Stout on and a new rivalry game. Yeah, it's really going to be.
It's a lot of fun to watch. Yep, setting some high standards.